Welcome back to Hot Water Wrestling, and today a different kind of video, one to help out the fellow traveler who might be coming to WrestleMania down here in Miami this year to see none other than The Rock. It's the only reason to come. I'm just messing around. It's going to be a big match, Team Cena versus Team Bring It at WrestleMania, plus God knows what else is in store for us. So anyways, but I just live in the area. I live right here in South Florida. So I wanted to give some travel tips to people who are coming in, depending on what you're actually doing. So I guess I'll start off with, if you're just going to see WrestleMania, flying into Fort Lauderdale and staying in Fort Lauderdale is a good option because the stadium is actually closer to Fort Lauderdale. Well, closer to, it's in Miami, but it's right on the county line. It's in the middle of nowhere, and closer, freeway-wise, or where you'd be staying in Miami. If you're just coming in for the event, this will be a much smoother transaction for you, I guarantee it. If you were to stay down by the 17th Street Causeway or anywhere on the Strip, on the beach, south of Sunrise Boulevard, you'd be in good shape in Fort Lauderdale if you were planning on coming in, saying, Saturday afternoon and just eating dinner, getting in, eating dinner, sleeping in the hotel room, waking up and going to do WrestleMania. Getting in and out Fort Lauderdale is way, way easier. However, if you are coming down to go to the Hall of Fame ceremony and WrestleMania or fan access, if you're coming down, say, on Friday, okay, and you're going to spend a little more time, you might want to consider staying in Miami Beach. Now, Miami Beach is a small place, it's a small little island, and it can be expensive, especially that time of year. But you can find cheap places. There are still some old school cheap beach motels there in South Beach. I would highly recommend renting a car if you can while you're down here. Renting a car would be huge. If you've ever been to Los Angeles, or if you've been to, say, Dallas, Miami, Fort Lauderdale area is a lot like that. You kind of need a car to get around. In South Beach, though, it is easy to get cabs in South Beach. However, the only event that's in South Beach is Fan Access, which is at the Miami Beach Convention Center. So if you were coming down here on Friday, it would be wise to try and land a room in Miami Beach, just because you could get a cheap cab over to the Miami Beach Convention Center, go back to your hotel, freshen up, and then grab a cab to the American Airlines Arena to see the Hall of Fame ceremony that night, and then grab a cab back. You'd be in pretty good shape there. Getting out to WrestleMania without a car or any kind of transportation from Miami Beach would be quite difficult, so I highly recommend you anticipate that, because you won't be walking there. It'll take you a day to do that. So then you've got the downtown Miami area and Brickell, also Bayside, all three of those, Brickell, downtown, and Bayside / Bayfront actually, are all kind of in the same area right there, but that's the area of town where one street is nice and the other street is a war zone. So just be careful when roaming, depending where you are. Brickell is the best part of that, I would say, pound for pound. Those areas are very close to the American Airlines Arena, where the Heat play, where the Hall of Fame ceremony is. And you'll look across the bay and you'll see a bridge, and that bridge will take you to Miami Beach, the island over there, the famous South Beach. So that's how it's kind of set up. So you're going to need to get across the bridge to go to Fan Access that afternoon, and then come back to your hotel, freshen up. I would plan on ordering room service in many respects. Get in a cab and go to American Airlines, or you could walk to American Airlines, depending where you are in Brickell and downtown. It's not a bad walk, especially in Brickell. If you stay along the beach, you're good. If you venture west, remember our ocean's on the east, so you'll see the ocean there, that's west. If you go west and journey and try to look for a restaurant or something, you could end up in a bad part of town. I'm just warning you. So just be careful. People are generally friendly. There is a good police presence, but stay near the water. Whatever you do, stay near the water. And don't go driving around off of US 1 if you have a rental car. Just take US 1 over to the freeway and get across the bridge to Miami Beach, and you can park and go hang out there. Just don't hang out too much in downtown Miami, Brickell, or Bayfront area. It's only meant to be used for a few hours, okay? If you're staying in the Brickell downtown area, Bayside, Bayfront area, and you're going to fan access, you either want to go straight to the Hall of Fame ceremony or just go back to your hotel, get room service if they have room service, and just stay there, freshen up, and go straight to the Hall of Fame ceremony. And then if you want to go party afterwards, I highly suggest going to Miami Beach. Now, Fort Lauderdale is a place where, say, you're done with your Hall of Fame ceremony and you want to go out and hang out. If you're staying on the beach in Fort Lauderdale, it's very safe, very clean, and you can just go hang out and run around like crazy people. If you want to go to the beach, go to bars, do all that kind of thing, but don't want to deal with South Beach, I suggest going to Fort Lauderdale Beach. South Beach can be pretentious. There are some fancy places there. It's very glamorous, but there are dive bars there to hang out in too. But it's very South Beach because you're in fucking South Beach. There's no question about it. It's like being in the movies. If you want a little more laid back, chill environment, I highly recommend going to Fort Lauderdale Beach if you want to do a beach thing. There's plenty of shit to do over in South Beach, but just that downtown Miami area, just be careful down there. Coral Gables is far as fuck from everything. I would avoid Coral Gables. It gets very congested. Although Cocoa Walk, the Grove, it's a split difference between, a little more trafficy than getting from Fort Lauderdale to Miami Beach, but definitely safe and fun. And there's Cocoa Walk is like a river walk or whatever, complex with bars and a movie theater and restaurants and all that jazz going on. They're in a lot of towns and cities now. It's one of those things. And that's in Coral Gables. That's by the University of Miami. The University of Miami is actually further south, though. If you're staying by University of Miami, unless you know someone, and if someone you're crashing with, that's totally cool. If they have a car, you're good, but that's very far for cabs and very expensive and very trafficy. So those are my travel tips. If you have any questions, I guess I can make this a Q&A. I hope this helped. Kind of don't have a lot of time on my hands right now, so I wasn't super organized when I did this, so I hope I spoke clearly and made sense to people. You might have to watch this video a few times. I apologize for that, but if you have any specific questions, just put them down there and I'll check from time to time, and I will answer them the best I can. So I hope this helped. This is Hot Water Wrestling. Have a fun WrestleMania. Peace.